T minus 1 minute. T minus 50 seconds. T minus 40 seconds. T minus 30 seconds. T minus 20 seconds. Ten, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
Can we talk for a minute? Come on and talk to me. I wanna know that. Can we talk? Come on and talk to me, baby. Come on,
Come and talk to me. I really wanna meet you, girl. I really wanna know your name.
Maybe this will help.
Nigga in the background trying to make this thing happen. My God, bro. We
Yo,
good?
me too. So for some reason, it won't let me go live from my main Instagram page. I keep clicking live, and it's like grayed out. It let me go from.
No, mine did the same thing. So I had to remove it.
Oh no,
If I went to edit, I had to remove it and then re-add it. Yeah, I just got live. Yeah,
from Instagram. Not. Do I need a new key and all that?
Yep.
Damn. All right.
Well, actually, no. If you got the key already, you good.
Yeah, I got the key.
You just gotta remove it on StreamYard and then re-add it. Ladies and gentlemen, we out here getting it ready for y'all. Listen, we putting in effort on a Sunday night because we love y'all and we want this to be beneficial. Never question if we love you. Ever.
For
If we
sure.
have, you know, I'm not going to
For
talk
sure.
God will forgive you.
Right.
Listen,
Right.
we in here. Episode, what is it? Season 6, episode 20. Welcome to another episode of Maybe This Will Help the Podcast. Yeah. Let me know if you set up and good to go, bro.
All right. I'm copying it over right now.
Yeah, man.
Save. All right, gave me a green check. So now when I go back to, it's still not from the Instagram side. It's still not letting me click that go live.
Give it a second. Give it a second. You know, nigga, when he gonna talk you through verbally everything he going through in his head. So I done click the button. It's green. It ain't turning red. So I'm not sure what's happening. Somebody post just showed up on my screen. They talking about new socks. I don't know if I want to click on that.
Are you done?
Are you done? Listen, I got the magic juice tonight. So let's get ready, man. Let's get ready to have some fun.
Let's do it.
Yeah,
let's do
exactly. Ladies and gentlemen, we're about to get into this conversation. If you have not texted your best friend already, text him and tell him the show is started. If you have not got your drink, like Mike, text your spouse and tell them to bring it to you. If you don't have no spouse, you need to watch all 2 hours of this show so you can figure some things.
Yeah, listen, because maybe it'll help. Maybe, damn it, maybe.
Anyway, I'm ready to do it, man. It's 8:06. Let's get into it, bro.
Let's go.
What'd you learn this week, man?
What did I learn this week? I learned that. I learned that self-regulating is a superpower. And I mean self-regulating in the moment. Like something happens, you want to go left, you want to go right, you want to get irate, and you may have every possible reason to. You may be well within your right to just go ham in this particular situation that you found yourself in. But self-regulation is it's like no other, bro. And what I found just in like watching these clips that we find for Instagram, I mean, from Instagram and other places, from, you know, just being out in the world, watching how people react in certain situations, being in traffic, watching how people react in certain situations, even remembering how I've reacted in situations. It's like, man, I feel like this is something that a lot of people haven't unlocked, you know, that self-regulation, being able to be like, okay, I feel me going there. Let me reel myself back in, not depending on my wife to reel me back in, not having to call you to reel me back in, just in the moment, me doing that for myself. I've realized, bro, that it's a rare thing to find in people these days, bro.
Instead of people out here just yelling out BAN all the time, you know, it's just, what's tonight?
But see, listen, the self-regulation in that is that I didn't actually say it to the people. I kept it to myself.
Growth.
My nigga. Growth.
Yeah.
Come on, man. Come on, man.
Yeah, man. That's good. I mean, I think it might be rare where we are. And sometimes you think that quality is rare because you keep putting yourself in environments where it is rare. Maybe it's not the people. Maybe that's how they're supposed to be for where they at. If you need something different, maybe it's your zip code. You know what I'm saying to you? Maybe it's your area code.
Perhaps.
But you got to change that. Perhaps.
Maybe it's your country code.
Man, for real. Sheesh. You know what I'm saying? Maybe it's your preferences.
Yeah, man. That's facts. What about you, bro? You learned anything mind altering?
Gee, not mind altering. This LSD this weekend.
Oh shit.
Let me see, man. I'm trying to make sure I got that code in there. What did I learn this weekend or this week? This has been a good week, man. I ended the week in a way that I felt proud. And so, you know, I've been pacing myself and I've been living in that space of, you know, only what you allow will continue. You know what I'm saying? I've also been living in that space of be willing to sacrifice what you want now for what you want most. But I've also been, as I'm revisiting, I recognize my seasons are changing in life. Like, you know, just what's being asked of me, what opportunities are showing up. That's how I recognize a different season is coming or is here. I've been revisiting some of my plans and I recognize that there's not as much pride as it used to be. I used to be like, yo, I got this. This is how I'm doing it. This is my strategy.
Yeah.
But even in the awareness that seasons come and things have to change, I used to be very stubborn about my strategy. Until I recognize that your strategy needs to be fluid. It needs to be in tune with the seasons.
That's good.
Your strategy got to be in tune with the seasons for it to be effective. And so I've been revisiting some of my strategies, some of the things I said I would not do, and saying, okay, is that beneficial in this new season that I'm in? And so I love to identify little parts about myself that I'm continuing to stay humble and grow in. Because it's helpful. You know what I'm saying? It's helpful as you revisit your plan to make sure that it's up to date. It's like these iPhones we got, right? Hey, we learned something new. We about to send you an update. It's going to update tonight while you sleep, right? I think that we need to be checking in with ourselves daily or weekly if there's any necessary updates that we need to make to our plan, our strategy, or our routine.
That's good, man.
Yeah, just to make sure we run that the most efficient way, that everything that can be optimized is optimized, because ultimately for me that equals a higher quality of life, a more enjoyable life, a more fulfilled daily existence. Yeah, so that's where I'm at, bro. I did get a chance to meet up with the fellas I haven't met up in a while. That I used to go to Bible study with, and so we met up in Santa Monica this past Saturday, about 5 of us, because the rest of them couldn't come. And it was just a good fellowship, man. Good opportunity for guys to get together and be in the Word of God, but also ask questions, man. You know, I've been really big on wanting to be in environments where I can ask questions and challenge things, because how else do I get to a practical outcome or a practical solution that is directly tied to my life? I think there's so many different standards that the Bible holds and standards that people hold in any community that they come from. But who can walk you through it to get to that standard? from where you presently are. It's a whole bunch of preaching and talking about this is how a Christian should be. This is how a man should be. This is what a woman should be like. All these different standards. But who can come alongside you and say, oh, okay, I see you over here. I can walk you to the standard instead of judging you for not being at the destination. And I think that's what I want to do with my life, man. I want to hold people's hands to these different destinations and standards that they want to be at, man. I think that's why I signed up to be a coach, because that is very fulfilling for me. I think there's a lack of people willing to walk hand in hand with somebody to the destination, to the standard, instead of just hollering in their ear every other day about what the standard is and how they're missing it.
That's solid, man.
Yeah,
so you would say that's your calling then, huh?
I think so, because I know that my calling has to do with liberation, helping set people free. Yeah. But what do they do after they free? How do you get? Are you free now? But how do you get to where it is you either feel like you're called to do, or where you're called to be, or you need somebody to walk with you, man? And I think that is unfolding of what I already believe my purpose on this earth is.
Solid. That's what's up.
Yeah, that's a good way to start the show.
Yeah, it is.
All right. Well, if you're wondering what your purpose is, maybe you'll find out tonight. We're about to get into this show. I go, like we said before, tag somebody, let them know the show is on.
Yeah, buddy.
You're live on Instagram, right?
On maybe this will help. I am. It's still not taking on my other page.
All right, let me make sure we live on Facebook as well. All right, we good. All right, well, we're gonna see what tonight brings, man. We could troubleshoot.
Yep.
Yeah, Fergus and Marv said, sacrifice what you want now for what you want most. That's good. Yeah. That's it, man. That's the one I've been sticking with. Yeah. Tonight's show is gonna be interesting, man. We got some stuff that Mike threw our way that I think is gonna be beneficial. We'll start with a little lighthearted, and then I got some practical stuff to get into, because tonight's podcast episode is entitled, What Makes You Ready for Marriage? What makes you think you ready? And is ready a universal readiness? Is ready means I'm ready for anything and everything, or I'm ready for a specific kind of person?
Yeah.
It's going to be a good conversation, man. I hope you guys stay tuned and lock in with us. Ray, what up, man? Hello, Pook out there with the celebrities out here.
Man, JM, I seen it. Like, okay. Look at Pook. Exactly. I'm just happy that she actually, you know what I'm saying, tuning into our podcast. Cause
still slumming it with us?
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's dope. That's dope. Yeah.
We're having trouble streaming to Instagram. If you ended it on Instagram, then this is expected. If not, that's interesting.
So that may have been me, because I just ended one, but I'm up now on both of them, so we should be good.
All right, well, let's keep rolling with it. So tonight we're gonna start with a little lighthearted, man. Ladies, I'm gonna ask you from the jump to help us with this first conversation, because the fellas are in the dark.
I'm sorry.
It's okay. I'm not even upset.
One more time. Ladies, just please pay attention, because I need your answers.
I'm sorry.
It's okay. I'm not even upset.
That's hilarious.
I saw a video like that this week, right? And so the first time he reached for her, she pulled her leg over. Second time, she was like the girl in the video. Third time, she was literally hanging out the window.
Yo, so that's real life like scenario right there. That's like really it. And I think that what came to me when I first saw the video is why say that you good, everything's fine, but then when I try to move forward and do things that we regularly do, go ahead.
She never said everything's fine.
She didn't say,
he said, are you, nigga, listen to the words.
I'm sorry.
It's okay. I'm not even upset.
I'm not upset to me means you're fine.
Nah, see that, I think that's, get some clarity on what you mean. Just because somebody ain't upset doesn't mean that we good. I'm not upset means I may not want to get revenge. That don't mean that we good.
So okay. All right. I'm not upset. So then here will be my question though. If now that you're saying I'm not upset, then why are you reacting as if you are? Because usually when you're not upset, I don't get that from you. Usually when you're not upset, you know what I mean? I'm getting a different type of interaction.
You're not getting that because they're not upset. You're getting that because y'all good.
Yeah.
Bro, I've been around these women long enough to know, like, even with me, like with other people, like I can forgive you, but don't mean you got the same access. Don't mean that we picking up where we left off.
Yeesh.
You know what I'm saying? And I think that
Yeah.
too often we just couple it all together. Oh, we good? Yeah, we good. Cool. Let me borrow another $20. Nah, we ain't. Nah, listen,
Yeah,
homie,
that good.
I'm still updating this connection based on your
Wow.
previous behavior. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Yeah.
I'm not mad. I'm not gonna try to retaliate, but you know what I'm saying? Don't just think that everything's biscuits and gravy though.
I'm leaning more towards what Pooh said. She ain't upset, LOL. She's angry. And I think that that's what it, and I think that that's more what I see when I hear that. Like, no, I'm not upset. I'm past being upset. So don't touch me. Don't look at me. I don't want to be around you. All of that. But I'd rather you just say, we not good right now.
Hold on, let me.
I'm sorry.
It's okay. I'm not even upset.
Is it okay? Was it okay, really?
It's okay. I'm not even upset.
That's a full-blown lie, bro. Come on.
I don't know, man. I'm leaving room. I'm leaving room for her okay to not be my definition of okay. Like, I think that it's an opportunity to ask some questions. Dude said, "Oh, I'm sorry." She said, "It's okay. I'm not even upset." I think the follow-up question would have been, "Well, then what are you?"
I like that.
And I think that if you just did something that requires an apology, I think that it's appropriate to be like, "Can I hold your hand right now?" You coming in real humble with some questions, some inquiries, some requests, not no entitlement. I'm gonna grab your hand right now. Nah,
Yeah.
bro. Like you just coming off an offense. Like humble yourself and start go take some trash out. Go wash a dish. Go rub a foot. Like
Right.
you know what I'm saying to you. Like, do you understand that I'm okay, but you about to just treat it like, oh, you got infinite numbers of forgiveness?
Sheesh. And then, okay, I give you that because then we don't really know the backstory to the video. This may be in something that this dude habitually does or did, and she's like completely just over the apologies. I've been there too.
Listen, he was hanging like, don't touch me.
Yeah,
You
bro.
can be okay, and I still don't want you to touch me.
Sheesh.
Come over here trying to kiss me.
I get it.
So Ferguson Marv said, she made up her mind that she over him at this point. Listen, hey, you've seen them videos, or you might have been in that situation where she'll let me out the car. Just let me out the car. Let me out. I'll walk.
Freeway, 100 miles away from the house, it don't matter. Yeah.
Have you?
Don't you dare. Don't you dare. What, nigga?
Have
What?
you ever let a woman out of the car while it was moving at her request because she was so upset she didn't want to be in the car with you no more?
While it was moving? No.
Did you slow down?
Yes.
Did you stop?
Completely?
Yeah.
Oh.
Listen, I don't want you to feel like I'm kidnapping you.
If
Unlock the doors.
If you want to get out of the car, please do. Because if you don't, then I could turn into something else that's crazy.
Yeah, bro.
I'm cool.
I didn't have a horn in my car for a long time because I couldn't get somebody out of my car. I had to hit something. And I hit that steering wheel, bro. That thing was broke for a few years. Ray said left her at the bus stop.
So as crazy as all of this may sound to certain people, sometimes that's your best option because if you don't get out, or if I know cats that have left their own car, took the keys and just walked out of their own car just because it was about to get real volatile. You know what I'm saying? I get it. No,
That's
sir.
wild, bro.
It
Before we
is.
move on to the next video, I'm starting light, but let's talk about this anger when it comes to relationships, man, and how angry people or, we can tend to get. What do you
Huh.
think is so unique about a romantic connection, a romantic relationship, that people reach new levels of anger
Mm.
and irritation that they don't normally reach with strangers or with family? What is so unique about the environment of a romantic relationship that pushes people to that point?
I feel like with romantic relationships, bro, I feel like you open up a different part of your heart that you haven't opened up to even your mama, your kids,
Yeah.
or like that. So, and that part of your heart can be a little bit more unfamiliar than those other areas because you've been having family since you were born. You know what I mean? You've been having siblings since for a very long time. So then to meet somebody in a romantic setting, that's a whole new aspect that you may not be used to regulating.
That's so good because it makes me think of when you're around family for so long, then there's certain things that become normalized that
Yes.
they do and how they are, and you learn how to respond to it in a certain way. But in a romantic relationship, I think the dynamic is so different because most people have been wanting this for so long. And that
Mm.
desire has created these
Mm.
really big expectations.
Yeah.
And I think that the further a person's behavior is from the behavior you're expecting of them, the more fire it adds to the anger.
Yeah.
I think that,
I agree.
like you said, yes, they're in a different part of my heart where
Uh-huh.
it's probably more tender and is new, but at the same time, like this person that you love or that you witness romantic sense, your spouse or whatever, like this is the closest person to you. So I think that if we don't understand the subconscious or the unconscious expectations we have on them missing the mark just hits different. How could you, out of all people, how could you?
Yeah.
You like,
Dang. Yeah.
yeah, buddy.
And then what's so crazy about that is I'm thinking, when I've been in like volatile or really heightened emotion type of settings, then you start using words like you never and you always. And it's like, dang, really? Always and never?
And I used to correct people when they would do that because in a book that I read called War Words,
Yep.
certain things you don't say, but at the same time, just because you shouldn't say them doesn't mean that you're in a regulated space to even catch what you're doing. So I had to learn to not be so quick to correct things because I'm in a regulated space more often than the people around me.
Yeah.
And so I'm thinking logically, and I'm like, oh, you probably shouldn't say that. But in my logical thinking, sometimes my emotional intelligence dips. And I'm missing the fact like this person is under the influence of a lot of deep and heavy emotions right now. It's like me trying to have a logical conversation with a drunk person. Sometimes you gotta just let them talk.
Yep.
And be like, all right. Yeah, I know you said never and always, and I'm gonna assume that you don't mean that right now. You just hella emotional. Yeah.
That's valid.
Man, yeah, because I didn't been angry enough in some relationships to yeah, bro. I didn't yelled at the top of my lungs, bro. I didn't jumped off of balconies on the second floor. I done been driving 100 miles an hour down the street. Just
unregulated.
Bruh.
But
unhinged, nigga.
Yeah. So in those we'll get to I'm sure we'll get to it. Come on, let's keep moving.
All right, cool. Move on to the next video. Actually, it may not be a video. Let's do man, you know what? Let's start with a video and then we're gonna move to some of these other posts.
All right.
So
Ann and Lauren talk about wanting to be desired by other men or other people, and they think to themselves, couldn't be my wife. And they hear Shan and Lauren talk about enjoying the male gaze, and they think to themselves, no real man would ever allow this. I got some things to say about that. And I find it interesting because I think people with those assumptions are basically saying that masculinity is proven through restriction. It's like the more you can shut your partner down, the more of a man you are. The more you control what she wears, the more you control where she goes, the more you control how much desire she's allowed to enjoy is proof of how masculine you are. I actually think that that's just insecurity dressed up as masculinity. I personally don't need to make Shan less visible to make me feel secure. And I don't need to disconnect her from her sexuality because I'm afraid that somebody else might notice that too. It's the reason I married her.
Man, this is about to be a good discussion, I think.
Yeah.
Where you
Yeah.
at, bro?
So I'm on board. I'm on board with what bro is saying. I've been on well, I've seen some guys get really upset because, you know, their girl got a compliment, or I've seen some women, I don't want you to wear that because you'll get too much attention. You know, I've seen those type of relationships, and for me, I've never really understood them because I've never been I don't even know if I want to use the word jealous, but maybe insecure in the relationship that I've been in, and maybe that's just security in myself, not necessarily a relationship. But it's always baffled me how people in relationships get so possessive, and sometimes the things that they get so possessive and don't want the world to see is the things that attracted them to begin with to the person. So they were this person, they were wearing these outfits, they had this body, they did all of these things before you came along, and that attracted you. But now that you have it, it's like, I don't want the world to see it no more. Why? What's behind that? Is it fear of, if somebody sees it that's better than me, then she'll leave me? Like, what is it?
Okay. Yeah, so this is gonna be a good conversation because I think I'm coming from the other side.
Where you at?
Now that it's under my stewardship, now that it's under my care, now that I'm investing in it, there are certain parameters that I'm going to suggest, and have already been created. I'm inviting you into something that already has a certain kind of structure, and I have, as a man, pre-thought, parameters that I'm good with, things I'm not good with.
Right.
I'm not gonna try to control what you do, but this is the standard if you want to do it here. And I'm not sure if that is, like he said in the video, like that's how I'm improving masculinity. I think there is a certain degree of strategy and leadership that a man operates from, whether he has 1 million people following him or no people following him. This is something that should already be in place so that when people do come, they recognize, around me, this is how things go. But you don't have to stay here. You don't have to do it here. I don't think I would ever tell a woman what she can or cannot wear. I'll just tell her what I do and do not respect.
And that's valid, bro. That's super valid. I think my question would be, how do we get in a full-fledged relationship with like, how do we get here if I'm still having this conversation of what I do and don't respect? I think that, do you think that those type of conversations should be had before we, that should be in an early dating phase of what the things I respect and don't respect out of a partner?
I think sometimes these standards only show up in situations where it's necessary for them to show up. For instance, if we use a hypothetical situation, that's hilarious. Rashonda said, nice way of saying control. It is, man. I think that there's certain things that we are supposed to control. I don't think people are one of them. But I think they're a part of leadership, and a part of maturity is making sure that you are properly controlling or stewarding something that's really been given to you for the purpose of control or stewardship. But back to your question, when I look at this from the standpoint of she likes the gaze from other men. It does something for her. So she wants to present herself in a specific way in order to get the gaze from other men, even though she's in a relationship or she's dating exclusively or she's married. And this video is saying, well, let her do what she do, because you trying to control her means that, what I'm saying, you think that control is how you prove masculinity. And I'm not thinking that that's the point. When I talk about my standard, let's use, for instance, that he's in this full-blown relationship with her, but he has yet to talk to her about how she dresses. Well, maybe that wasn't an issue when they first met because she didn't have a certain kind of security when they first met. Maybe they've been dating, they've been going together for a while. Now they're married. She done got in shape. Her body looks different.
Yeah.
And as much as I do, something very interesting happens when you finally get the body you've been wanting. Reveal.
Yeah, that's fact.
No, we talked about it in this podcast before. You didn't know you was a hoe until you was getting hoe attention. Like sometimes you're not getting the body you want, the amount of money you want, the job you want, the assets you want is protecting you because you're not mature enough to handle it yet. Because once you get it, for some people, it leads them straight to the street. It leads them straight to attention. Now that I got it, I need other people to see that I got it. I need them to fawn over me. I need them to thirst over me. I need them to praise me and applaud me for this new car, this new job, I'm finally in 7 figures, or I finally got this Coke bottle figure. And now I need other people to drool over what I'm doing and what I got. And I need to know that is how I'm verifying that it was all worth it. And so if you met a woman who didn't have that body, or you met a man who didn't have that job and that status, and you guys have built a beautiful relationship together, and now she gets the body and he gets the status, there's a great temptation that both of them are about to face. And that means there's a great trial that relationship might be about to go through.
Yeah, I see where you're coming from. I do. I think I don't know. I maybe want to just say different strokes for different folks, because that may work for some, it may not work for some. My viewpoint, or this guy's viewpoint on the video we watched, may work for some. It may not work for some. I think what I love about the show is that it's options. You know what I'm saying? We're not coming from a place of this is the right way to do things. We're coming from a place of this is what works and has worked for me, or this is what I do. And then, you can try it out or not.
So Rashonda said maybe she's dressing that way for her man.
Rashonda, you're not helping the cause, because what did she ask her man if that's how he wants her to dress? Or are we saying she just assuming?
And Lauren talk about wanting to be desired by other men or other people, and they think to themselves, couldn't be my wife. And they hear
what she wants is to be desired by other men. That's what the video says.
Right. The gaze of another man. She gets something out of that. And here's the thing, bro. And here's what I legitimately believe. Because we enter into marriage covenant, because that, to me, again, for us, I feel like that's the only relationship that is legitimately valid, right? When you enter in a marriage, I don't believe that a compliment from the opposite sex doesn't feel good. It may not affect you like it used to, but it's like, oh, okay, that was nice. Your hair looks nice. Your dress is fire. From a guy or a girl, bro. And we've given the compliments, and we've heard compliments from men and women. And I can't sit here and say, because I got married to Janae, all of a sudden I don't care about any compliment. Because it's not true. It's not true.
Does the value of those compliments change?
Yeah, I feel like that's what I'm saying. That's what I said. They may not affect me as if they once did when I was single, You know what I mean? And I'm thinking about, I'm like, oh, okay, cool. She think I'm this, she think I'm that. Now I can kind of set up a game plan of how I'm gonna holler at her. It's not any of that anymore. But to say that I don't care about it or it doesn't affect me at all, zero effect. I think
So let me ask you a question then. So when you get married, for instance, just hypothetically speaking for me and then for you, you're actually married. What changes in your psychology about compliments from other people, especially the opposite sex?
There's nothing that can come from that. When I'm single, if I'm liking her too and I like the way she look or whatever the compliment is, or she got a nice body, I'm gonna say something. In fact, I'm probably gonna go up to you and talk to you about it. That's the difference.
So you're willing to receive a compliment from a woman if you're married?
It has nothing to do with willing. I can't stop somebody from complimenting me or not, whether I'm willing or unwilling. If I come up and say at the gym, people have complimented me in front of Janae. We hand in hand, arm in arm. It's a natural thing. People see something that they feel like is pleasing to the eye. Hey, those shoes are dope. Hey, you work out. Hey.
So this is what I'm saying. So how do we get to the place in this video? We're talking about this dude saying that his woman wants the attention of other men. It does something for her, whether she's going to move on it or not.
I didn't hear that. I didn't hear him say she wants it.
And Lauren talk about wanting to be desired by other men or other people.
Okay, there it is. Yeah.
So if that's what your woman wants, and it's not so much to play out anything, but is it wrong for your wife to want attention from other men? And sometimes does she know that she wants it from other men? Because Rashonda said, oh, she's getting dressed for you.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know how true that is, because sometimes if you look at the whole we getting ready to go out thing, it's not for your dude. There's many ways to verify if you're getting ready for your husband or if you're getting ready for the public.
Especially if I'm not going. So you damn sure ain't getting ready for me if I'm not going to even be there.
But no, let's stick with if I am going to be there, because then you asked me and I'm like, oh, I would love to see you in this. And that ain't what you put on.
It ain't for me.
Like, oh, what you think about how I look in this? Oh, I think I like it. Nah, I don't really like it. I'm gonna change it. Who you getting dressed for? Some people say, well, she's getting dressed for herself, or he's getting dressed for himself. But the truth of the matter is that just because we got married doesn't mean that we don't still enjoy compliments. That the question though is, are you aiming at compliments from strangers? Or are you aiming to be or valuing affirmation from your partner as the highest thing?
And that is a great question. That is a great question. I think that's what the question should be. I was just trying to take the idea that appreciating compliments from the opposite sex is not this crazy, bad, weird thing that should be happening. Now, if that's what I'm putting on this, I'm like, man, I'm gonna kill these hoes with this tonight. Then come on, bro. You're a married man. I think that's crazy. And for me, and you know this because you've seen it. Whenever I put something on, I ask Janae. She the first person I go to. What you think about this? Even when going to the gym, is this too? You know what I'm saying? And if it is, we already know what I do when I go to the gym. I throw on the towel because I think that her being okay should be at the forefront of whatever I do, whether it's getting dressed, whether it's the type of job I have. I've turned down certain jobs, whether it be security or whatever the case, because she was uncomfortable with it.
I got you.
If you married, your wife's opinion should be the first one.
And I'm wondering if it should be the only one. You know what I'm saying to you?
Yeah, I like that.
When I look at it from that standpoint, some people, when their partner gets complimented, they attribute that to them. Like, yeah, I know, right? She fly, right? She looks good, right?
Yeah.
Versus, like the video said, his woman or his wife, they need the male gaze. They want it when they go out. You can go if she goes out with her husband and he gives her all the attention, but other dudes don't look at her and fawn over her, then her night wasn't complete. She feels some type of way. I think back in the day we had a conversation when they were talking about Steph Curry's wife, talking about how much attention he gets and how little attention or zero attention she gets, and she felt some type of way. And I'm wondering, like, it ain't a sin, you know what I'm saying to you? Sometimes it's just people's makeup and their wiring, like they appreciate that on a level that helps them with other insecurities, that helps them with their identity. So I don't think you should judge your partner for being that way, but I think it's good to find out ahead of time before marriage if that's the way that they are.
For sure, bro.
You know what I'm saying? Some people, when they go out, they got to kill it. My outfit has to kill it. I need people breaking their neck to look at me. Like, that's as part of what I do, right? I say it from this standpoint, like when I used to do photography, like I want people to like my stuff. You know what I'm saying? My girlfriend at the time, she liked it. Okay, cool. But how many other people like my stuff because this is my art? Right? If you marry a girl or a dude that is into fashion, you got to understand that they're gonna want more than just your compliment.
That's a good point.
You wear a girl who's a makeup artist, homie. You marry a girl who's a makeup artist, like you can compliment her all day, but please believe she gonna be still looking for it out in them streets.
Yeah.
And like we said, though, with a dude, it might be a little different. He got status, right? Like he finally got the job that he wants, that pays in the way that he wants. Now he shows up in society a certain way.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying to you? And so he's looking for people to applaud him and appreciate him for what he's accomplished. But I think the only issue with it is that even that is within reason and underneath discipline. You got to ask yourself if that's if compliments are an idol, if attention is an idol, if the spotlight is an idol, if the stage is an idol. You know what I'm saying? You and God are the only people that know it. When you go out, if this is really something that you're craving the attention of your partner, or if it's other things that you're hoping to get. Oh, we got a lot of comments. I'm just over here yapping. What you got over there?
I'm good over here.
Are you okay? So let's see. Tal Freeman said there isn't anything wrong with appreciating compliments. It sounds more of an insecurity of hers because she shouldn't need the validation of other men. That's rough. I know. I think what needs to be asked of her is why she wants that.
Yeah.
Eric Bellinger said if they ain't looking, I don't want her. It is an interesting conversation, man. Pook said, man, I need to get it together. I want to get attention looking like a bum. Pookie, you still get attention. Cut it out.
Right. Knock it off.
And I think that's the thing about it. I don't want to fault anybody. Like, did she get dressed for you? Did he get that job for you? Like, you were like, babe, I already loved you. You know what I'm saying? When you were, doing the construction, you didn't have to become the foreman. You didn't have to open up your own construction company, but he felt like that would satisfy something he's been craving, right?
Yeah.
In life. So he kept going for it. And your girl's like, oh, well, I'm going to go get this done to, you know what I'm saying, my body. I'm going to buy this outfit. Like, I want to show up and be this way when we go. And you're like, babe, I already love you. I already like you like that. So are you then trying to make your partner just stay at a level that you're comfortable with, regardless of what they want?
Interesting.
Maybe that is evidence of a mismatch.
Interesting. Real quick, I want to take a second and shout out one of our smallest, probably youngest viewers, Logan. She's 5 years old and she's watching the show. Shout out Logan. Hi, Logan. We appreciate you watching. You and your mom, Tyler. Appreciate y'all.
And she asked why Uncle Mike is using profanity.
Damn. I've been cut. I told you. I already told. See, niggas, you can't. God. All right. Cool.
BAN. All right.
For sure.
So check this out. So this is good. McJellin said, I just want to bring God his glory. I'm not into worldly idolism. My night is successful as the people around me feeling the love of God. And so when you step into the realm of, saying a woman of God or a man of God, this conversation then takes another twist, because it's not just the compliments you want, but it's also the calling on your life. And that impacts how you want to be seen in the world as well.
Interesting. All right. So what does a woman of God or a man of God dress like? For us, let's talk about women. what is a woman of God dress like? What is her out? She's going out a night on the town with the girls. What is a woman of God dress like?
You're not gonna like my answer, but this is the way that I understand it. She dresses like her convictions.
Explain that for the people that don't understand.
I think that this is a great answer that I like to give because there's so many things as you come to Christ that about how you do life that you're gonna probably have to work on.
Mhm.
And what I found is that it's impossible to work on all of them at the same time. And so for me, there's certain things I'm more convicted about because I spend more time reading about them, more time talking about them, having discussion, more time unpacking them. So they resonate with me deeper than other things do. And so I think that wherever you are in your faith journey, your convictions are going to impact your behavior according to wherever you are. So when I say a person dresses like their convictions, I don't think people should be judged that, oh, you're not a good woman of God or you're not a good Christian based on how they present themselves. Because what if they're working on cussing right now? You know what I'm saying? What if they're working on not cheating on their taxes right now? What if their main focus is trying to get over gluttony and greed? You know what I'm saying? And you're like, well, your skirt is too short. It's like, cut me some slack. That's next on my list. It's next. I promise you, it's next on my list. You know what I'm saying to you? So I'm just like, man, like cut people some slack. You just because you come to Christ doesn't mean that everything automatically made sense. And now I carry a conviction for every situation. I'm able to identify it when I'm doing it, and I'm a perfect example of what a woman of God or a man of God needs to look like. No, man, I'm in my faith journey, and certain things just haven't been taught to me by a teacher, haven't been preached to me by a preacher, haven't been exposed to me by a mentor to where it resonates with me on a level that is going to impact my behavior and how I do life.
I like that, man. I like that a lot, actually. All right.
I just had a conversation with my boys. We had our Bible study at the coffee shop, and we were talking about that in my past relationship. Like, she was like, my gym shorts were too short.
Yeah.
You know, and we're like, okay, so I stopped wearing them.
I say your gym shorts are too short. You still wear them?
I don't even know why you're looking at them.
Here we go.
Exactly. Ali said, listen, if my husband is a pastor, but he likes my titties showing when we go out, then that's what he's getting. I get so tired of the woman of God shouldn't wear that. So there was a conversation a while ago about one of the pastor's wives and what she had on and how people felt like it misrepresented. Yeah, man. It's so interesting to me when I hear those conversations because, you know, in school, the teachers in some of the schools I went to, some of the grades I was in, they throw out your lowest score so it wouldn't mess up your average. You know what I'm saying to you? And I think that sometimes you looking at a person's worst grade and judging their entire character over the area they're just now starting to explore on how do I glorify God in this space. You know what I'm saying to you? And you don't know what norm they come from, because that might be a crazy improvement on where they were. It may not be at the standard yet, but it's challenging sometimes to listen to some of the criticism without the questions, without the curiosity. You know what I'm saying to you? And that can be disheartening and make people want to turn from the faith and other things, because it's like, golly, like I used to do this, now I do this, and it's still not good enough. But no one's saying, "Oh, I see you, I see your growth, I see you trying."
Yeah, come on, man. That's solid. Yeah, this conversation can flower into a whole thing.
Carrie said, when I was in my 20s, when me and my girls went out, I dressed to display what God blessed me with. Listen, I think that at some point we do got to have a conversation about attention and compliments and how they really do impact us psychologically.
Yeah.
I think it'd be a healthy conversation to ask, because a lot of people trying to turn something off that you don't even know if it's good to have it on or off. Like, let's have a conversation. Yeah. Compliments can keep some people out of depression. Compliments have gotten some people off of the edge, and they didn't come from their spouse.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying to you? So before we talk about, oh, compliments are wrong, and if you're a married man, a woman shouldn't be telling you how good you look, or, you know, say you smell nice or something like that, boy, we might be playing a dangerous game, because you don't know what people are going through. It's so much criticism and judgment and negative feedback coming our
Yeah.
way, that sometimes like a compliment can go a long way. It might be the only one you got that day, let alone if your spouse is too busy to compliment you because they working so hard. And like, come on, man, you need what you need. That's like saying I ain't gonna eat unless my wife cook. Like that's a rough life, man. I mean,
Yeah.
more power to you if you can pull it off, but my nigga,
Yeah. Nah, you right. That's all. Yeah.
you
Damn.
know, so, I ain't saying you gotta go home with every woman that cook for you. You
Right.
ain't gotta hug every man that compliments you. But at the same time, if you with somebody, recognize that you may not be all they need in every single department of their life. And so before you get upset about what they getting from other people, ask yourself, did they need it and I couldn't give it to them? Because that may help you to be able to digest, like, okay, it's going to take a community for me to keep this person that I love at the optimum version of themselves. It may not be all on me. Like, they parents might have to get involved, they children, they relatives, you know what I'm saying? Strangers,
Yeah.
they coworkers, all that is needed for this thing that I love to continue to blossom. I may not have it all.
Yeah. Yeah.
What you got over there?
Oh, wait. Pook said, what if you just like what you look like, not for someone's approval? I'm going to have these thighs and cleavage out depending on where I'm going, but I absolutely love Jesus.
You dress like your convictions. You know, and I say it again, man, not every church is teaching the same thing. And I'm not saying you got to let a church teach you your convictions, but as you read and you interpret, certain things land with you a certain way. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying the Holy Spirit is out here confusing everybody, giving them a different standard, but I'm saying that some people digest the standard differently because they're digesting it through the life that they've lived. And and everybody has to work through their own season of justification. Like that can't apply to me. That has to be a cultural reference. That's not for men and women. Like everybody got to go through their process. So mind your business, drink your water, and just be an example.
That's it. Let your works and your actions speak the volumes. I think that's what's more important.
Yeah. Still said you can like how you look and it be for you for sure. Just know that how you dress, just know that how you dress, what you put on is your witness. You know, and I like that from the standpoint of understanding that I think that it was John the Baptist was judged for kind of how he dressed out in the wilderness and what he was called to and stuff like that. I think that I've been judged for so long, like not even just judged behind the scene, like to my face, that it doesn't bother me anymore. It just helps me to further identify how unique I am. It also does make it hard at different times to teach me things because I feel like I've been numbed out. But I say it from the standpoint of you are unique and there is a witness and there is a way that I do my faith walk that may appeal to certain people that you may have disregarded. Y'all was just talking to my boys about this. Like there's fence riders, you know what I'm saying, too, or those people that dabble that my witness appeals to them. Now, I'm the first person to tell you like, hey, I can get you this far, but you're gonna have to go to a biblical scholar. You got to get into a church. You're gonna need somebody else like to disciple you and get you to that next level in your faith. But I know where I'm a bridge.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I may not be able to walk you all the way through, but I don't know. I don't have to do this whole thing by myself. I got a brother that does this. I got a mother that does this. You know what I'm saying? I got a pastor, a friend, or a mentor that does this. Collectively, we're all helping each other to get to God's standard. You know what I'm saying to you? But I don't think that just because my witness may not get you, you know what I'm saying, to the 3-piece suit, Bible in your hand, preaching on the corner, doesn't mean that my witness ain't valuable.
Yeah, man, I like that, and it makes me think. I watched this guy. I think I follow him on Instagram. I can't think of his name. A Mexican guy covered in tattoos, face covered in tattoos, head covered in tattoos.
Come on, Jesus Christ, not him.
No, not him. Nah, not him. But I say that to say, so because of what he looks like, I don't know. I just struggle with people saying, you know, what your looks or what you have on or how you present yourself can be seen negatively when we're talking about being a witness. because he can't take off his tattoos, but he's still a witness and still has thousands and thousands of followers, and I'm sure has brought a lot of people to Christ because of how he looks.
Listen, it's enough of us with a whole bunch of different kind of witnesses.
You know what I'm saying? So how about
different people?
So look. So what if the girl that everybody says when she comes into church, her skirt is too short, or you know what I mean? Her outfit is too provocative. What if she used to be a prostitute, and now what you seeing is a watered down version of what she used to wear? And what if, you know, she's going back into the world actually ministering to people that used to be prostitutes, something that somebody dressed in a turtleneck and some baggy jeans, female, couldn't do.
Get it? Some people say we're supposed to be in the world, not of it. Again, we at different places in our walk. Like, why don't you just help people? So my cousin, Lavish, Lenny, what up, man? This is my cousin, bro. I'll tell you about Lenny next time we meet up on Tuesday. That's my boy, man. When I'm in grade school, like 4th, 5th grade, he said progressive, progression, progress. And I think that is something that we need to continue to reiterate as we are judging a book by its cover. I think there's more of opportunity for inquiry and curiosity than it is for us to make a final conclusion on who this person is. And I know it's challenging because psychologically we do judge a book by its cover, because that's one of the ways we determine where safety is. Yeah. You know what I'm saying to you, especially if you grew up in a neighborhood like we grew up, like safety is important. Like you scan in the room, his pants are sagging, you know what I'm saying? She got bamboo earrings. He probably got a gun. She probably got a razor in her mouth. Like, you know what I'm saying to you? So you are doing that. What does they say? Because it's the survival of the fittest. At the same time, you got to learn how to keep that in check also when now your judgment becomes your confession to other people about that person that you have not verified.
Yeah.
You don't know if that's the only clothes they got. You don't know. And you know what I'm saying to you? And this conversation goes back to one of my friends, you know, Mike. She's a worship leader, but she on the thicker side. And I don't mean the bad thick, the good thick.
Yeah.
She can have on the same exact outfit as a very slender girl. Same outfit.
Yep.
And be judged and asked to step down from the platform and say it's because of the outfit. But it's not. It's the body that's carrying it. You know what I'm saying to you? Say, well, you should dress more according to your curves.
You should dress.
You should dress with curve awareness.
Wow. That's wow. So
some people might be able to digest that. Go ahead.
All right. Nah, I
might be disheartened by it, bro.
Yeah, I definitely am. It's crazy how on one hand the Bible says come as you are, but then when you come as you are, then you judge for it. That's why people don't go. That's why people don't come.
They say come as you are, but don't stay as you are. And I get that part too, because whatever you're committed to, there should be changes. But I think that expecting all aspects of where you've fallen short to change at the same moment is a high call to have. Like I joined last Sunday. Next Sunday, I'm supposed to have it all together.
It's not so for me, bro. It's deeper than that. Let's use you. You have been persecuted when you were up ministering up on stage, whether it's Granddad's church or other places that you went. You've been persecuted for what you wore on stage: a t-shirt and some jeans.
Yeah,
but it's too tight. Your muscles are too revealing. So at what point does this get just goddamn ridiculous? I got on a t-shirt and some jeans. If it's causing somebody to stumble, then that's their fault, bro. I'm up here preaching the word of God. So to you, do you think that you should then change, wear bigger clothes, like you said, wear a robe in order to appease the you know what I'm saying?
I'm going back to my original answer about you dress at your level of convictions. I think the wisest thing to do is to take it to God in prayer and say, God, am I missing it? Because ultimately that's where I'm trying to, to alter my behavior from. I think if I'm not willing to go back and pray about it, then I might have to address my pride. But if someone's having an issue, I feel like it's the due diligence. No matter how ridiculous I may think it sounds, which I've done, like, all right, God, like, am I missing something? Or I got a brother I can go to, or I got a mentor and be like, they don't like, for instance, I got a big project coming up in July.
Yeah.
They said, absolutely no earrings. Absolutely not. No piercings of field. No.
Mm-hmm.
And when I first heard that, I was like,
then we're not
feels-
doing it.
I can't work with people like you know what I'm saying to you.
Yeah.
And I had to sit down and talk to my mentor about it and my boy, and he was like, how tied are you to it? Would you let that interrupt this opportunity that God clearly has given you? If it's just earrings, take them out, put them back in after it's over. Like if it's just, you know what I'm saying? And if it's not just, then I have to ask myself, what's my bond to it? So again, I'm taking it to prayer, and I'm taking it to counsel, just because I just want to make sure that I'm not missing something. You know, and usually you take it to prayer, you take it to counsel, you're gonna get a word from God that you can stand on in the midst of it. You're gonna get some kind of scripture, like, all right, yeah. And even if it's a conviction that's new, you may still not know what to do with it, but you still may say, okay, well, yeah, so maybe I should. You know what I'm saying? Because for me to just jump off gate and be like, well, if I can't wear a tank top while I'm up here praying for people, he got on a $3,000 suit. It's impacting two different kind of people the same way. Like, that's just me going tit for tat. Like, honestly, man, just take it to God in prayer, go to counsel and say, hey, I don't even care about what nobody else is doing. Like, how is my witness impacting? How is it operating as a disadvantage to what God has called me to do? You know, that's all. I don't want to disrupt my calling, you know, and sometimes pride will have you justifying behavior that is really disrupting your calling. You know, I just want to stay in that place of humility if I can.
I get you.
He like, nigga, no.
Yeah, because it sounds crazy. A t-shirt is disrupting my calling sounds absolutely ridiculous to me.
Yeah.
Absolutely ridiculous.
I would still bring that to you on a Tuesday, though, to our accountability time, and say, bro, am I tripping?
No, right. I get it, and we will walk through the steps. You know what I mean? But yeah, I think at some point, bro.
Oh shoot! So
yeah.
No, it's a comment. Go ahead.
No, I was gonna say, I think at some point, for instance, I'll just use the analogy since you just talked about it. You have this upcoming thing. They're saying no earrings. They're saying. So now I'm thinking like, I would want to ask why or do you want me to look a certain way or not look a certain way? Because if you want me and this is how I am on a day-to-day basis, do you really want me or do you want your version of me? Because that's not me.
So what they really want is the gift that God gave me.
Right.
And they just
does that have anything to do with earrings?
To them, yeah. So they have they have an interpretation of scripture that concludes that if we're having somebody connected to us representing this, you know, that we're funding and it has on earrings, then it goes against what we stand for. That might confuse the audience.
So let's fake it to the audience and make them believe something that's not true. That makes sense.
And all that ain't none of my business.
But if you're getting tied to it, it is, because now you have to realize this is the people that I'm potentially getting in bed with. They're willing to trick, pull the wool over their viewers' eyes to make it look like something that it's not. To me, I will have to look at that.
And as I did look at it, you see what I do on, you know, with them, and you go to my Instagram and you see, and you see the other interviews I do, you say, and you ask me an honest question, I give you an honest answer, and you say, So whatever you're trying to hide, the truth always comes out, because you're not paying me to go somewhere else and not wear it. You're just asking me not to wear it, and as a sign of respect to what you guys have done there.
Yeah, I feel that.
You know, and I've already had people, you know what I'm saying? My mentor told me a long time ago, he said, your reputation may not be something that you can actually protect, because some people may just have it out for you.
For sure. Yeah.
You know, he said that Jesus never tried to protect his reputation by defending it to those who didn't believe in him. He just made sure that he went to God and got guidance on things.
That's valid, bro. That's valid. And like you said, at the end of the day, when you feel like that God is saying go do this or don't do that, that at the end of the day, that's what you got to follow, whether it makes sense to me, you, or anybody else, bro.
That's good. My brother Quadra, what up, man? So he's the one who runs the Bible study group that I went to this past week. He's been doing it for years, man. Ephesians 5, man. So he put a verse in here for us to check out. Romans 12:1. He said, "Therefore I urge you, brothers and sisters, by the mercies of God, to present your bodies dedicating all of yourselves set apart as a living sacrifice, holy and well pleasing.
That's great.
And so when I hear that, when I hear that part about present your bodies as a living sacrifice, that is the key thing that makes me take whatever I'm hearing back to God and say,
For
hey,
sure.
that's why I go to him and say, am I missing the mark? It's not for me to believe that just because another Christian said it was wrong, that I may not be presenting myself as a perfect sacrifice. It's for me to take whatever they said, because they could be missing the mark. I don't know. One of us might be.
Yeah.
Take it to God and say, hey, am I off base here? Where you at, bro?
No. What you said, I agree 1,000%. But you know, I got 80% of my body covered in tattoos now. So even if I missed the mark initially and didn't present my body as a sacrifice, I'm here now. So now what? Am I just shit out of luck for the rest of my life? Because I can't go back and undo.
Yeah.
So now can I no longer present my body as a sacrifice because I've marked it up?
Some people get them removed, you know, depending on where their convictions are. Some people don't think it's that big of a deal. Some people like, hey, today moving forward. I think that you find yourself stressed and dealing with a lot of pressure when you're trying to make everybody be okay with how your journey has been so far. I've sat in many of different Bible study rooms where I've heard people just, you know, they talk about the alcoholic, the person addicted to drugs, you know, so they talk about the abuser, the wife abuser, the husband abuser, they talk about the kid abuser, they talk about people cheating on their taxes, and, you know, like, you know, and God can bring you out of that and move things around and change it. And I've heard them talk in a whole different kind of conversation when it comes to strippers, sex workers, porn stars. And most times I'll interject in those conversations and ask, like, do you know any of them? Do you know a stripper? Do you know a porn star? Do you know a sex worker? And my friends, like, I have friends, like, while we sitting here putting them in a whole different category.
Crazy. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying to you? And so I think that oftentimes, yes, you can do your due diligence, but at the same time, other people, even myself, sometimes I have to make sure that this standard that I'm trying to put on people, from my understanding, that is that I'm being sensitive to the journey that they're on, and that I can just give scripture. Like, it's almost like plant the seed and let the Holy Spirit do the rest of the work.
That's solid. Yeah. I like that.
Man. Yeah, man. So what is that? Yeah, man. Let me see. Hold on. You got anything over there on IG? Oh, okay. So verse 2 says, of that Romans says, and do not be conformed to this world any longer, moving forward with its superficial values and customs, but be transformed and progressively changed. Golly. As you mature spiritually by the renewing of your minds, focusing on godly values and ethical attitudes, so that you may prove yourselves what the will of God is, that which is good and acceptable and perfect in his plan and purpose for you. Everything in that verse talks about the maturing, the progressing. You know what I'm saying to you? And I think that that's something that, if we are in the scripture, we recognize when we're looking at people, like, they could be in the maturing, they could be in the progressing. Just because they're not where you want them to be today, doesn't mean that they're not committed to the maturing or the progressing. Like my cousin said a few minutes ago, man.
Yeah, that's solid. Good looking out on those scriptures too. That's good, man.
All right, bro. You ready to get into the next video?
Yes, sir.
All right. Hold on. Ali said, I did a whole calendar photo shoot with porn stars and strippers and never once thought of them any differently. We had a wonderful time. I think that there's still
people. Am I missing something? Are these people not still humans? Golly. What is
I did a photo shoot with these reptilians, and no, but it is, bro. Like, they're sometimes like seen as slaves were back in the day, not 100% human.
That's interesting to me.
You've dabbled into, the way I've heard is that you've stepped in such a darkness and you've lived in such a darkness that I don't care what you do for the rest of your life, it's on you. You're marked. You're not like everybody else. You went too far. and now you carry this, and it's going to be you shouldn't have went there. Now it's a part of you wherever you go.
That's unfortunate, but
like a convicted felon. You don't get to vote anymore.
Oh, I know.
Yeah, man. So, all right. Yeah. All right. So let's move on to the next video. So that was an interesting conversation.
That was good, man.
So before we go into, I have these 5 things to test to see if this person is your spouse or whatnot. But before we go there, let's do this. Let's ease our way into this conversation. All right.
That's how you know that they're your person.
Yeah.
When they're not too much.
Yeah.
For you.
Yeah.
You have capacity for all the range of everything that they will be, and what they have to offer. Their strengths as well as their weaknesses, especially the weaknesses, because you and I, we have many.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. So you're saying that if you don't have the capacity to handle all of someone, then they may not be right for you, and you may not be right for them.
That's exactly right.
Yeah.
That's how you.
This capacity is one of my favorite words.
Nigga, we know.
So let's talk about it.
Get this capacity tattoo.
Do you have the capacity for that person in all the different facets of who they are? That might be the verifying thing that confirms that this is your person, because you can handle all the personalities. Is that a reliable tool?
I think it's a reliable tool. I don't know if it's the only tool that you need for verification, but I think that it's definitely a solid tool to go by, because I know damn well that the capacity I have for Janae on a day-to-day basis and Denim on a day-to-day basis, I don't have for anybody else on this earth. Nobody except those 2 people.
I think that Ali brings up a very good point. She said, my capacity has changed over the years and in different seasons. Okay. And then Carrie said, okay, please define capacity. So let's take that route, because Ali made a really good point, but I think we do need to define capacity before we go any further in the conversation.
Yeah, so while you're looking that up, I think that, your capacity does change, but that's what the video is talking about. If your capacity remains for the person that's your person, then that may be how you know that that's your person. Because although, my capacity has changed for a lot of people that are in my life now. You know what I'm saying? But it hasn't changed for Janae. It hasn't changed for Denim.
Okay. I'm going to do 2 answers here. So first, I'm going to do the definition of capacity. Then I'm going to look at the difference between capacity and tolerance.
Mm-hmm.
So capacity is the maximum amount something can hold, contain, or produce. A person's underlying mental or physical ability to do something.
Mm-hmm.
And so when you look at capacity from the space of being in a relationship, do you have the capacity for a person? Do you have the ability, the mental and physical ability to stay committed to the things that the relationship is based on?
I feel like that's what marriage is.
And so how do you verify that in the dating arena? Like, are you looking like, this is going to stretch me? Like, if when you talk about capacity, does that mean it should be easy? And so that's why I wanted to look at the difference between capacity and tolerance. So capacity is your actual objective ability to endure, absorb, or produce something, while tolerance is your psychological or physical willingness and comfort level in doing so.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying to you? So when I think about my tolerance has changed. I have a lower tolerance for certain things.
Say that.
My capacity, though, my ability, not just looking at my willingness to endure, has increased for certain things.
Yeah.
And so if we look at this from a practical place of, say, for instance, you got a girl who loves super deep conversations often.
Mm-hmm.
You may not be willing or desire to have these deep conversations starting at 10:30 at night when you got to get up at 4 a.m. but do you have the ability?
Mm-hmm.
How are you differentiating those in your head? Are we secretly disqualifying people because they don't feel comfortable to our nervous system?
Oof. And is that a problem? If someone doesn't feel comfortable to your nervous system, is it necessary to keep that person around? I think it deserves a question with yourself.
I think that some of the bigger regrets that we have of relationships we let go of, romantic or familial or just platonic, have been because it just made me uncomfortable, so I let it go, or just I didn't feel like dealing with all that. I think those are the regretful relationships because we know we had the ability, we just lacked the willingness. And I know a lot of people don't believe in regrets, but I think that they have them. Some people do. Underlining it whether they want to admit it or not.
Yeah.
And so you got a girl that wants to have all these super deep conversations, or a girl that loves to, okay. Well, I'm gonna use this example because my friend knows I use this example all the time. I have a friend that loves to go to Disneyland.
Uh-huh.
Took me to Disneyland. We was there from opening to closing to the fireworks. I said, I'll never go again in my life. It's the devil. I'll never do it.
Yeah.
Did I lack capacity or did I lack willingness? Was that a tolerance issue or a capacity issue? Say, for instance, if me and her had decided to start dating and try to get into a relationship and get married, what would that have looked like? Because I have coworkers that live in, for who though? Because do I have the ability to go?
Yes.
Let's go back to the definition because I'm about to challenge that. Capacity is your actual objective ability to endure, absorb, produce. I cannot endure it. I almost died. I almost broke down. Listen, it says capacity is the maximum amount of something you can hold.
Yeah.
Bruh.
You was at your max. You was past your limit.
How do you know when you're over capacity? I think that'd be a great conversation to have because there are certain things that you start to do when you have not gotten enough sleep. You're overstimulated. You're underappreciated. Like when you are out of there's physical responses that lets you know that you may be willing at this point, but you're over capacity. And I think in my heart, I'm a pleaser. So I try to be willing in situations that I'm not desiring to be in. But I think the more responsible thing to do is say, you may be willing, but honestly, bro, is this above you? My mom was having a conversation with me today. She's like, well, you need to do this because this and this is happening. And I said, capacity. You know, if anybody's been my friend for any amount of time, they heard me use the quote, intentions are great, but capacity is king. I look at the capacity I have before I pursue anything. Because it's nothing like being over capacity to get you out of character that can ruin a beautiful opportunity if you just would have waited until you had the capacity to do it.
I like what Janae said. She said, would you endure it for your child? So basically the Disneyland thing. If your child wanted to go to Disneyland, would you have the capacity to do it then?
Absolutely not, because that's my child. It ain't going to be in their DNA.
It's her child too.
Only half.
That's what exactly. So it may be.
Is she young? I could talk her out of it. Like, do you want to go if your dad's not going to be there? No, you don't, do you? No, you don't want to be there.
Lead the witness.
Who's going to protect you? No, daddy's going to be there, so we're not going. You don't want to do that, do you? Manipulate that child.
Golly.
John said, what you're not willing to endure for a friend, you will likely endure for a spouse.
Oh, for sure.
It depends on the relationship.
I agree with that 1,000%.
And I think for those who were, she said that was such a BS response.
Donnie is acting like a band right now, so it's all good.
Listen, one more time, just the beginning of this video, just to give you guys some context.
That's good.
That's how you know that they're your person.
Yeah.
When they're not too much for you.
That's how you know they're your person, when they're not too much for you. I think as beautiful as that sounds off jump, it has to be unpacked because you may not have a good assessment of what's too much for you. You may be such a pleaser and
For
such
sure.
yeah, you
Yeah.
may be such a pleaser that you're willing to do more than you're actually capable of doing for an extended period of time. This is why some people appear to be a certain way when you first start dating them.
Woo.
And as time progresses, they change. And it's not so much that they change, but they weren't built for that life.
Tired. Shit.
They were built for that moment. They weren't built for that life, which is why you got to be patient when you're dating somebody to identify if this is the kind of person I can do life with, not just a date once a week or once a month. And then I
Man,
got to recycle and refuel and recharge.
That's good, man. Dang. Listen, I'm happy I'm not out here in the dating world. Y'all, good luck to everybody that's out here in this dating world.
He said, I've already chosen and I've been chosen.
Oh, God.
And you know, the
Wow.
beautiful part of this conversation is that when you find a person that you feel like they're not too much for you. And I mean like it just fits to where it's not like, oh, I got to stretch in this regard. I'm not saying they got some nuances that you don't like that. And when I say they're not too much for you, that means that the things that are uncomfortable, you can have conversations about.
Yeah.
Not just you trying to assess they did this once, this is how they are. Inquire. Because sometimes people, you can meet somebody and go on a few dates with them, and over the course of a few months, they can become a whole different person because now your presence and their presence created a new environment. And maybe this is how they are when they're in an environment that feels safe, or when they're in an environment that feels supported, where they're in an environment where they feel affirmed, where they're in an environment where they're stretched and they feel challenged. Like we can show up in different ways because nothing can exist without an environment for it to exist in. So when we find ourselves in a new environment, a side of us that is very sustainable may show up. Now, if you like that version of them, you then have the responsibility to continue to contribute to the environment the way that you've been contributing, because that environment is informing that behavior. You like how much they openly communicate with you and how vulnerable they are with you and how honest they are with you. And that's because you actively listen well. That's because you inquire through curiosity. You don't judge quickly. You watch your tone. Now, if you start letting your tone fly off the hook because you're not getting enough food or getting enough rest, if you stop being an active listener and your point becomes the most important point in any conversation, don't expect to see their same vulnerability and their same honesty with you, because you changed the environment because you started changing on what you were contributing.
That's good. Which then caused the other person to stop contributing the way they usually do.
The environment is totally different, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's good. I like that.
You got anything on the in your comments over there?
Nah.
So if you say you're dating a person, you 3-4 dates in, and you feel and they feel like, oh, this person they're not too much for me. Yeah, they can get sad sometimes. I can handle their sadness. They get excited sometimes. I can handle their excitement. I see how they are in the morning. I see how they are at night before they go to bed. I see how they are, you know what I'm saying, when they're sad. I see how they are when they're feeling stressed. And all these environments I feel built for. Would you say it's a good time to go ahead and pull the trigger? Excuse me, to pop the question. Golly.
Well, no, you kind of kill yourself for sure. You die.
Yeah.
You do die.
You say that's verification enough. I can do life with this person.
Like I said, I feel like it's a good tool to verify, but I don't know if it should be the only tool.
What's another tool then?
God.
First
Seeking
of all,
God.
Call my God a tool. What's the other tool? Did you go to church today?
Did you?
I am the church. What's your next With a quickness, with a quickness.
Golly, the lies. Yeah.
So the title of tonight's show is What Makes You Ready for Marriage. So what's another tool that you would say is a good way to verify if you're ready to marry this person?
That's really good. So I think it's so interesting that I think my biggest verification to marry a whole person had nothing to do with that person, had everything to do with me, and doing some real soul spirit searching to, one, be honest with myself, come to terms with some things. You know, it wasn't just like, you know, oh, I love Janae and we get along and we never argue, let's get married. It that sounds good and it's cute and that's the, you know, the whole fairy tale of it, but it was a lot more involved with just me and me sitting in rooms and tears and having to unpack stuff and therapy and, you know, all these other things that made me finally feel like, all right, let's do this. It wasn't the part that I'm talking about was not a fun road for me.
So if the title of the show is what makes you ready for marriage, you're saying that it has less to do with how compatible you are with that person and more to do with how much of you that you've dealt with?
I would say that.
You've dealt with?
I would definitely say that, because are you ready for marriage with anybody?
Well, when we're looking at that person specifically, I think that when you look at marriage and having a spouse as a responsibility, a great responsibility, then you then start to ask yourself, like, what is this marriage and this person going to need from me? I say it a different way. What is this person going to need from me? What is this marriage going to require of me in order for it to be healthy and fulfill a purpose?
I agree. And that marriage and that person don't have a face, is what I'm saying. That's what I mean by are you ready to marry anybody? Whoever the woman is, are you ready to be married?
And see, that's the part. That's the question I really used to entertain, but I don't anymore, because I think that there's such a unique need that every person is going to have from their spouse. I'm not sure what's one universal thing that you're going to need for every single woman.
You have a one universal thing. You have said out of your mouth, you need a woman, and I'm paraphrasing, that is going to support your calling.
No. What does every single woman need?
Oh. You said, what does every single woman need from what?
From her husband.
From her husband.
One thing that they all have agreed on that they need from their husband.
I don't know. I haven't talked to all of them.
Exactly. You know what
I'm
saying?
I know there's one thing that I need, like for me, if I know that I'm having struggles in this area, I know that I'm not ready to be married yet. I don't need to go and ask a million women if they're okay with it. I know.
I got you. That's the self-respect. There's a self-reflective point.
Right.
I'm going back to your initial question about you saying, like, if I'm going to marry anybody,
mm-hmm.
I think that if I married Lisa versus if I married Amanda, a different requirement of me is going to be needed for both of those women.
So, okay. So you don't think there's anything similar that you would do in any of those two marriages? Nothing at all?
Between those two, possibly. But I'm saying across the board, which is why when I have that conversation, I'm not like, fellas, this is what you need in order to verify that you can marry and be successfully married to any woman. Mm-hmm. I can't say that because they're all going to need something different. What I can say, though, is when you go back to this self-trust, every woman doesn't require that. And that's just the truth of the matter. You know what I'm saying to you? So when I look at it from that lens, I think it is wise to approach this question of what makes you ready for marriage starts with how much of you have you dealt with. And then you get to a place of identifying, and maybe it's different for men and for women. But as a man, I get to this place of when I identify who it is, then I continue the customization. Right? So my ex, I knew that I was going to have to learn Spanish because we had a discussion and she was very set on our children learning Spanish first and then English since Spanish is a little bit, easier to learn, I guess, or whatnot, or harder. I'm not sure. It's been a while, but that wouldn't be something I would have to customize for every woman. Mm-hmm. Right. But I knew that was something that I had to work on for her. So what did I have to work on within myself before I even met her? Being open-minded, having a growth mindset when it comes to the unique responsibilities associated with marrying that woman. That woman may have had a childhood that was full of extravagant holidays. I'm not a big holiday person. So I don't know if I'm going to need to be for her until I meet her. But before I meet her, I know that working on my humility and being open to exploring new ways of doing life is going to be an important.
I feel like we're saying the same thing. I feel like exactly what I just said was before I married Janae, I had some things that I had to work on in myself. Before I saw her, Janae,
Yeah.
I had to make sure that I was good to get married. And I feel like what you just said is with the open-mindedness, you didn't have your ex in mind when you were working on open-mindedness. You just had, this is a quality that I may need to have in order to be married.
Yes. We are saying the same thing. I just want to make sure we got that other question out of the way.
Yeah, no, that's valid.
The other one wasn't helpful. So we go back to tonight's conversation. What makes you ready for marriage? Now we're going to go into these 5 questions. So I was online this week and these 5 questions showed up. And the question was, let me know if you can you still hear me, bro?
Mm-hmm.
It says, never marry a woman until she passes these 5 tests. Now I know that is already a tough one to digest for a lot of people because you ain't about to test me into matrimony, but yeah, we are. Some people do it consciously, some people do it subconsciously. We had on the podcast a few weeks ago, we exposed a lot of the subconscious tests that people are running on each other that they don't even know they are. Like, I'm just gonna walk on this side of the street and see if he steps over here, and I'm gonna wait at this door and see if he opens the door. Like, you know what I'm saying to you? My subconscious test. I'm gonna open the door for her and then see if she tries to open up my door. These are still subconscious tests, even though I'm not testing nobody. Yeah, you are. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna pull out my car and see if he asks me to pay or whatever it is. So let's just, for the sake of this conversation, just be open-minded. We're not here to prove anything or to say that this post are correct. All we're saying is we want to have a conversation about it. If you don't agree, put it in the chat. We'll put it on the screen. So you ready, bro?
Let's get it.
Never marry a woman until she passes these 5 tests. First one is the stress test. Watch her when life gets hard, when she's tired, overwhelmed, or disappointed. Does she stay respectful and emotionally balanced, or does she become harsh, chaotic, and impossible to talk to? How do you feel about that one as the first test? Watch her when life gets hard, when she's tired and overwhelmed.
Yeah, I like that.
What do you think those moments will show you?
Self-regulation. What I've mentioned like 6 times since we started. I feel like it'll show me, can she, even when in her brain it may be chaotic and she wants to just yell and scream and cuss and throw things, is she going to regulate herself to express that in a more, maybe not positive, but for the lack of a better word, positive way, manageable way? Yeah.
Why? But so I have an answer to this, but I want to get yours first. Why is that important to you that she can self-regulate?
I believe it's important to me because if she doesn't, then that puts me as her potential partner in a place of having to try to self-regulate for her, which can cause other, arguments or issues in the relationship that I don't want to have to deal with.
So you're trying to avoid specific arguments and situations.
Not specific, no. I'm trying to avoid any type of negativity that may arise from her not being able to self-regulate.
Got you. So there's a reason why you would run this test, because there's certain things that you want to avoid.
Mm-hmm.
So the reason I think this stress test is good to see how she operates when she's overwhelmed, tired, or whatnot, is because for me, I try to verify what causes you to abandon partnership. That's what matters to me. My past has informed me that when certain women that I've been in a relationship with get into these heightened states of being overwhelmed, being sad, depressed, or whatever it is, the only thing they care about is themselves, and I become the enemy.
Mm.
They abandon the seat of partnership and they move right back into it's all about me. This is what I care about. Why are you this way and why are you not? So instead of saying, hey, let's work through this. Where are we at? You know, I'm in this space. I need your help.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying to you? It's something about when you are in the extreme of an emotion. I think that is the big revealer of how you feel about this person because you too triggered to fake. I think it brings out more of a truth. It's almost like people say alcohol is a truth serum. Like
Yeah.
for certain people, I know you're gonna tell me how you really feel about me when you get that alcohol in your system. For certain
Yeah.
people, if they're stressed and they're under it and depressed and they reach out to you and say, hey, can I just come over? That's telling you something versus they're like, yo, don't call me for a few days. I'm dealing with something. It had nothing to do with you. I'm just dealing with something. Both of those responses are telling you something.
Yeah, I can see that.
Fair
I
enough.
can see that. Yeah, no, for sure. So the question I would have is, what if you're not there? Meaning, what if this is something she's going through at work? You know what I'm saying? And I say that because you're not there to be able to help her regulate in that moment.
Okay, but when you find out about it, or if she tells you about it,
I got you. And
how was your day today?
And that's my point. That's why I would rather her be able to say at least self-regulate until we can get to that point to where we're together and we can kind of work things together. But if you can't, if I got to be there for you to be able to regulate yourself.
Yeah. So your answer makes sense for what you care about.
Mm-hmm.
My answer makes sense for what I care about. The point of this conversation for me is to help us all understand that if you are running a stress test on a person, it's because there's something that you're trying to make sure it doesn't happen in your relationship.
Yes, sir.
Maybe something that happened to you as a child, maybe something you saw in a movie, read in a book. There's something that happened to you in a past relationship you don't want to happen again.
Yeah.
And I think that this stress test is a way of verifying to the best of your ability that this person is either incapable of that or they've done enough work that they won't bring that into this relationship. Some people don't want to be left again. You know what I'm saying to you? And so while we're looking at this post, and this post says, watch her when her life gets hard, when she's tired, overwhelmed, disappointed. I'll say, watch her, you know what I'm saying, or him, for the women who out there, watch them when they get everything that they want.
That's good. That's good. That is good.
Are you still important to them? Do you still get the phone calls? Do you still get the text? Do you still get the invites when they get everything that they want? Not just when life is bad, when life is perfect. Is there still an apparent need for you? Just
that's good. That's good. I may like that one more than the question that they said. Shit.
All right. So part 2, the accountability test. When she's wrong, can she admit it clearly, or does she deflect, cry, blame, twist the story, or act like nothing happened? A woman who can't take accountability will make every conflict exhausting. The accountability test. This brother Mike went straight to the stars, bro. Where you at?
Nah, I like it. I like it. And I think I like it because if you can't, I look at it like this, bro. If you can't be honest with yourself, then how you really gonna be honest with me? And now I'm looking at you like, is that, you know what I'm saying?
Is accountability simply about being honest?
Well, based on what the definitions they were giving in the when she's wrong, can she admit it clearly? To me, if you can't, or does she deflect, cry, blame, twist the story, or acting like nothing happened? To me, that's not you're not keeping it a buck with yourself. So how you gonna keep it a buck with me? Like if I come to you and I got an issue and I'm asking you, hey, I'm going through something, I just want your opinion, want your take on things, are you gonna try to spin it to make it, you know what I mean, satisfy what you want, or are you gonna try to spin it to make me seem like I'm right, even though I'm not, because you know that's what I want in that moment? It's not reliable.
I think that when I think about accountability, I think about a willingness to endure some embarrassment. I think that it's not just about being honest. It's about giving exposure to things that you might be ashamed about as well. Because it's easy to be honest about things you're proud of.
Mm.
And so I think that from my experience, man, when oh my God. So I got a text message. What if I have a medical condition and I can't take accountability?
So got accountability-itis.
So one of my friends said Latinas have this condition. It's pretty common. So let me tell you a funny story, dog. I remember I was in a relationship or a premarital relationship back when I used to do those. And I had a conversation with this young lady, and I was like, I've never met someone as prideful as you are. It was a learned behavior. Yet and still, it showed up in the most inopportune times and created such a great disadvantage for us to continue to bond in a way that would lead to marriage. And I think that anyone who lacks accountability, who lacks the ability to take accountability or has this medical condition, I think that I accept you for who you are, but you should also tailor your expectations when it comes to the dating environment of the kind of man you can get. Fully accept you, but it will impact the kind of man that you'll be able, or woman that you'll be able to get, because accountability goes a very long way. It's a very high valued asset or resource or ability to have when it comes to building a healthy relationship. Two people that take accountability that's a different kind of fabric or building material.
It is.
If you have a medical condition, it's hilarious. That made me think of somebody with Tourette's. Listen, it wasn't me, man. I gotta. That's like people get old and they get senile. Like, listen, I gotta. That doesn't allow me to take accountability. All right, you ready for number 3?
Yeah, man.
The respect test. Pay attention on how she speaks to you when she's upset. Does she protect your dignity, or does she insult, belittle, mock, and use your weaknesses against you? The respect test. Pay attention to how she speaks to you when she's upset. What do you think about that test?
How she speaks to you when she's upset.
Yeah. This nigga Mike had to take a whole gulp of water, nigga.
I'm wondering something, my nigga. I'm wondering, I feel like some of these things, I feel like they'll come out naturally. I don't know if we have to, for me, I don't know if I would have had to test to see if, like, because now I'm going down a rabbit hole in my mind. Like, am I testing? Am I creating these scenarios? You know what I mean? Or am I just waiting for them to naturally occur in everyday life?
So that's before we go down that path. I know we almost at 10 o'clock, so we gotta watch ourselves. It says pay attention. It didn't say create. So the assumption is that people get upset often enough, but you just need to pay attention when that person is upset to see, does it change how they interact with you? Yeah, so I think that the test part that we're talking about is not necessarily one. It may be one that you can put in place, or it may be one that just life.
Yeah.
I told a friend not too long ago, every time you get ready to set out and do something great, life is going to try to call your bluff.
Yeah.
It's going to be like, you don't really want that. You say you want to get in shape, so all of a sudden that whole week your coworker's bringing donuts in.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying to you? Life's like, you're not serious. And I think that that's the test that come from life. I know that God doesn't tempt us, but there are some tests associated with this walk of faith. I think the point is to pay attention, though, when you find out, when you guys have a difference.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? When you guys are having a deep conversation and it strikes a nerve, does she shut down and say, I'm not going to talk anymore because don't want to say something I'm going to regret? Or does she say, oh, nigga, you want to go there?
Right.
You know?
No, yeah, no, I think it's great to pay attention to it. I think what's even better is the conversation after you realize it. Because sometimes I don't want people to think that these are just things like I don't want it to feel like you're just supposed to be, taking your mental like, okay, she talked to me like that. Okay, interesting. And then form this whole conclusion and hypothesis about how this person is without having a conversation to say, hey, when we talked yesterday, you were pretty upset, rightfully so, but you kind of came at me and said some things that weren't cool. Like what was going on with that? Is that how you usually react? Oh no, you know what? I'm so sorry. I don't usually do anything could happen. But to do these tests and then be like, okay, yeah, I can't do this with this person without no conversation is wild.
Mike is the kind of high school teacher that lets you come in on the weekend and make up for a test you didn't study for. When the whole class had the textbook, had the notes, you just showed up and performed poorly because you prepared poorly. And
For
Mike
sure.
is saying it's okay. You can come in on the weekend and make it up.
1,000%. You know why? Because I was that kid that really needed that second chance. I was that adult that needed that second chance. So I understand what it means to fail tests and be like, damn, yep, I fucked up and it was my fault, 100%. And I just didn't do the right thing. But please, like, let me show you what I can do. So yeah, I will be that teacher
So
for sure.
somebody asking for a retake versus you just offering one is two different scenarios. And for me, it's one thing we're talking about a diploma. It's another thing we're talking about your heart.
Well, you said school, nigga, so I'm talking about school.
Exactly. But I'm saying that if you're talking about the situation of her being disrespectful in a conversation and you're going to ask her in a conversation like you kind of was out of pocket and she's going to say, oh, I don't normally do that. So you're saying you're going to go off what she says. What do you do with what she did?
What do you mean? What do I do with it? When I'm a spanker? I'm a lever? Like what you mean? What I'm gonna do?
Does what she actually did in the moment hold any weight, or only what she's saying? Oh, I normally do this. That was a mistake.
I think the whole thing about Grace is to not live in what she did, right? Especially if we talking about spouse and partner. Like if me and Janae were to keep tabs of things that we've done that may have offended us, nigga, the relationship not gonna last very long. And I say that from experience, brother.
We can't jump like that, bro. We can't. This conversation is never marry a woman until she passes these tests. We're not talking about already married. Because remember, me and you had this discussion last week.
Me and Janae were already married, though. We were dating. This is what I'm talking about. This is in the dating phase.
Marriage, and you know what? You can do it any way you want to. But remember the conversation we had where we said marriage is where you institute grace. Dating is where you institute discernment. So grace is given because there's a bigger commitment that was made and agreed upon, and you can call that person to the commitment. There's no commitment like on that level when it comes to dating. You're getting to know each other, and so there's more of a need for discernment instead of an excuse for behavior.
Yeah,
when you're married to somebody, you have more evidence supporting how they truly are than a person that you're dating. Once you get to that place of marriage, you already have an overall idea who this person is. And those one-offs, those two-offs, those three-offs, you can apply grace to. But when you're getting to know somebody and you don't have any other information about them, how they respond in that moment, I'm saying, for me, holds a lot of weight because I don't have anything else to compare it to, except for your words. Oh, I don't normally do that. Well, you did it here. So...
Right. What I'm saying, though, because they did it here, is that a cause to throw the whole thing away without conversation?
Depending on how bad it was, yes. Yeah. So if I go back and look at this and it says, does she insult, belittle, mock, and use your weaknesses against you? I don't really see a need for a second chance. What you gonna say? After you call me a BAN. What are you gonna say after you called me in front of my mother and my family? And I'm gonna call you the next day like, man, you kind of went off. You want to tell me what that was about? Nigga, nah, we just dating. This is the first family event I invited you to, and you want me to have grace after you cussed me out in front of my family?
So you took it to the far extreme.
I'm being you right now.
After you just shot me in my foot, you want me to no, nigga.
You usually pull the trigger like that?
No, but what I'm saying is you absolutely right. Nobody is that grace thing I get when in dating. Nobody has to give you grace. But I'm saying what I was saying was in me and Janae's dating relationship, I was afforded that.
God bless her. Yeah.
For sure. So I'm saying it's not like it can't or shouldn't happen. I think that's up to that person's discernment.
This is fair. She thought you were worth it, and those been your words.
Yeah.
And
even when I didn't, shit.
Exactly. You know what I'm saying to you? And that was her in our past conversation, recognizing that you weren't too much for her.
Come on, man. Full circle it. She had the capacity.
She had capacity for you. You didn't even have for yourself, nigga.
1,000%.
That's wild.
1,000%. Balled up like a baby in the corner, begging her to leave, nigga. Begging her to leave. Woo. All right, that's not what we're doing. Come on.
Yeah, okay. All right. I thought we was about to go there.
Woo.
Number 4.
Yeah.
The loyalty test. Look at how she handles attention from other men, private conversations, social media, and boundaries. A loyal woman doesn't need constant outside validation to feel valuable.
I don't know about that one, bro. I don't know how much, and I only say that because I don't really pay too much attention to it now. I feel like put it back up there. I want to see those individual points. Look at how she handles attention from other men, private conversations, social media, and boundaries. A loyal woman doesn't need constant outside validation to feel valuable. I don't understand loyalty and the need of outside validation. Is he just talking about for men or anybody? Because
about women. Never marry a woman.
A loyal woman doesn't need outside validation, but he said anyone. Anyone is woman or man.
This is true. Yes.
Nah, I don't really subscribe to that one personally. If I'm basing my thoughts on the person I'm dating based on attention, how she handles attention from.
So let me tell you my struggle with this. When I think about loyalty, how much loyalty are you expecting before you marry?
In a dating, like she may go on another date after she leaves me, and she's well within her right.
So how much loyalty are you expecting pre-marriage?
As much as we agree on. If we've both agreed, that's what I'm expecting.
Oh man, my expectations are low. All right. Number 5.
No. Nigga pulled up number 5 so quick.
People gonna do whatever they want, nigga.
No, they are. That's the thing. They 1,000% are. So in your mind, you're saying because people are gonna do whatever we want, we don't have to have no rules. This is the wild, wild west. You're gonna do what you want. I'm gonna do what I want. The end. Until we get married.
You just marry somebody who you believe wants the same things you want by holding space for them to change their mind at any moment.
But people can't do that when they get married. People don't change their mind when they get married.
I'm saying they can, even though they say till death do us. I think we need to have a whole episode just about marriage vows. What are we saying?
Create your own. Shit.
What are we really saying? Anyway, I think everybody like my. I used to work in social work, and we had a psychiatrist there who worked with us, and she always said, "People are going to do what they want to do."
Mm-hmm.
You getting emotionally wrapped up in decisions they're making. They're going to do what they want to do. until they start addressing why they want it, the behavior is not going to change.
Agreed.
And so just because I don't want you to do it and you agreed not to do it in front of a pastor and at this ceremony doesn't mean that you're not ever going to do it. So the best I can do is prepare myself to give you grace because I want you even on your worst day.
Mm-hmm.
Number 5. This is wild. Number 5 says the conflict test. When there's a disagreement, does she want peace and understanding, or does she want control? Does she repair, calm down, and come back to the table, or does she use the silent treatment?
That's really big for me, man, and it's big for me because I'm really, really big on communication, and if we can't communicate to the point to where, you know, we're attempting to gain insight and understanding on what each other are saying, then for me, throw the whole relationship away. I don't even want it. I don't want it. Mm-mm.
I don't wanna. It's good, man.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
It's almost 10. I get it. It's almost 10.
Beat him up. You know.
Wow. Oh, okay.
DJ,
what were you about to say?
back in the day.
What were you about to say, sir?
Or does she want control? Does she repair, calm down? There's a verse in the Bible that says that a wise woman builds her house with her words, and a foolish woman tears it down. You know, and I think that it's wonderful in the dating arena to see how she handles disagreement.
Mm-hmm.
Because a woman is too quick to be agreeable is not a solution either.
Agreed. Yep.
And a woman who can't see a reason to have a conversation because there's a disagreement is not a good look either. There's something about the recognition and the appreciation of differences that starts to create the kind of environment for something special to come forward. Like, oh, we don't agree on that. Oh, what makes you feel that way? What makes you think that way? What makes you come from that lens? You know what I'm saying to you? And I think that this is why, for me, like, it's so valuable to have friends, to be a friend first, because for me, it gives more reason for respect to remain in any situation because we have a foundation of a friendship.
Mm-hmm.
But those disagreements, boy, with strangers, first date, second date disagreements with somebody you just met and thought was pretty, you'd be ready to throw the whole plate at them.
And social media disagreements where it started off as something super simple, and then it turned. Hold on. I don't even know you. I just asked a simple question. Never mind. Block, delete. Shit.
Listen, it's a wild world.
It is.
Man. All right. So
is.
Those were the 5, ladies and gentlemen. If you didn't catch them all, we said, watch her when life gets hard. When she's tired, overwhelmed, or disappointed, does she stay respectful and emotionally balanced? When she's wrong, can she admit it clearly, or does she deflect, cry, blame, twist the story? Pay attention to how she speaks to you when she's upset. Does she protect your dignity, or does she insult, belittle, mock? Look at how she handles attention from other men, private conversations, social media, and boundaries. A loyal woman doesn't need constant outside validation to feel valuable. And when there's disagreement, does she want peace and understanding, or does she want control? Does she repair, calm down, and come back to the table, or does she use the silent treatment? These are some of the tests that somebody thought might be good to verify before you choose to say, I will marry this woman. And believe it or not, a lot of these questions come up in premarital counseling, how you handle different situations, which is why I'm such an advocate for premarital counseling. I'm an advocate for premarital counseling even before engagement. A lot of people feel like once I bought the ring, I got to go all the way through with it. But there's certain things you find out that you should be asking them. The most important question you can ask a woman is not, will you marry me? There's so many other important questions to ask before you get to that one.
For sure. God, dog.
Because that question may end up not being necessary.
Oh, shit. That's fact.
Maybe
my
nigga.
Right. So I got some I got some stuff coming in over here on my IG. Wait, hold on. Oops. One person put, what if she is loyal, but a social media influencer who runs a business whose job it is to gain traction on social media and attention? I think that went back to when we were talking about a woman that wants attention from the opposite sex. So she's saying, what if that's her job to gain attention and possibly from the opposite sex? Would the partner need to kind of jump on board, be okay with it, have a little bit more understanding because this may be a different type of situation? Or is it just like, no, I don't want to be with me. You can't want that.
I think that is easier when you're talking about a job, because a job does something very clear. It brings you a paycheck.
Yeah.
If you can replace that income, then you can solve that problem.
All right. One more. Fan Freaking Tastic said, I go silent for a little bit to process the situation and not act on emotion. I come back and we talk it out. My fiance is patient enough to give me my space while I process.
That's good, man. Don't abuse that patience. Offer information before situations require it. If you know they're the kind of person that gets silent, don't wait until a situation shows up. You guys go through a process and then try to explain. I get silent. If you know that about yourself while you're having basic conversations, say, hey, you know something interesting about me? When situations get tense or I feel defensive or whatnot, I shut down for a little bit, but after a few hours or a day or two, I always come back. You can say that ahead of time. It makes it much
now we're good.
Because oftentimes we feel like I have a peaceful or a patient man. I'm so blessed. Peace and patience run out.
Both of them.
How do you make sure that he can stay in a place of peace and patience? Offering information before the situation.
Yeah.
That's their ability.
Yeah. That's good, man. That's solid. That's solid.
Ah, man. Well, at the end of every show, ladies and gentlemen, we'd like to leave you guys with a resource. Hopefully something that we said tonight touched you in a way you're like, oh, I got some things I might want to work on. It also may hit you in a place of, man, like I'm feeling some type of way. I got triggered. Well, here's a resource, 988. That's a number you can call. These counselors are ready to hear from you. Like they're on the phone ready to hear you vent, or they can connect you to a support group, connect you to a psychiatrist, connect you to a therapist. It can connect you to different resources that you may need. You're having trouble raising your children. You think they're bad, or you know what I'm saying, you're one of your children being bullied at school, or you're having issues with your spouse and you're not sure how to get out of it and they're putting their hands on you, or you just want to learn how to be a better listener because your spouse saying you don't listen well. Whatever it is that we said tonight you need some help with, you can call this number and get connected to a resource that can help you develop in that arena. Whatever it is, if you struggle with taking accountability, you can call this number, no lie, and they can get you connected to the resources and the groups that will help you understand what accountability truly is and how taking it keeps you from sabotaging your own happiness. So thank you guys for joining us tonight. If you want to see us stay on the air, please contribute. We have a Cash App. It's $88 a month for us to stay on here. We are crowdfunded, $5, $2, $80 helps. You can go to our Cash App, $ maybe this will help. If it's on your heart, if you don't have Cash App, please send us a DM. And we can tell you other ways to get cash over to us so that we can stay on the air. We appreciate you guys tuning in. Of course, go to our social media. We'll be posting little clips of tonight's show there, and you can continue to engage. And as a finisher, Carrie said, I am clearly not ready for marriage. That's her conclusion for the night.
Hey, and that's good, though. Self-awareness is so good, bro. Yeah, when you have that moment of clarity, like, oh, shit. Maybe I thought I was, but maybe I still need to do a few things here and there before I make that commitment. That's dope.
Listen, Ferguson Mars said, amazing show. I was fed.
Man, that's what I need. Feeding. I'm hungry as shit.
Listen, I'll pray us out. Mike over here. Thank you, Father God, for this night of conversation. We pray that those who tuned in walked away with something valuable that will help them continue to evolve and mature into who they've truly been called to be, who they've been designed to be. We thank you for just no technical difficulties tonight. And we just thank you, Father God, that we have this brotherhood and we both accepted the call to contribute to our generation in this way around things relationship. So as we rest tonight, Father God, just visit each of us, continue the conversation that we may capture it in a very practical level, that we can start applying it as soon as tonight or maybe even tomorrow. There's some conversations that we are not having, them some toxic ways that we've been being with our parents and our children or our loved ones. Father God, help us to get out of our own way. Help us to just choose the path of maturity, and help and heal us where we're hurt, where the hurt that we've endured is stopping us or preventing us from walking down those mature paths. We trust you and we thank you. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen. Hey, before we get out of here, I just want to say I'm patting myself on the back because I don't know if you saw it, but at the beginning of the show, I had the regular lighting, the pink and the blue. By the time the show ended, I had the little aqua going on in the background. You know what I'm saying? You didn't even, it's fine. It's fine. Get us out of here. It's fine. I feel unseen, but it's fine. See, this is my point. So listen, if I'm not on the show next week, then y'all already know why.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you guys for joining us tonight. Have a good night. We'll see you next Sunday. I'm not saying your line, nigga. Come off mute and say your line.
2 Chainz.
Can we talk for a minute? Come on and talk to me. I wanna
Come and talk to me. I really wanna meet you, girl. I really wanna know your name.
Maybe this will help.